Hi, this is Coach Nupur, and today I decided to do a book study. The book is called Believe It. One, it is by Jamie Kern Lima, the founder of IT Cosmetics. It's called Believe It, How to Go from Underestimated to Unstoppable. And we're going to read chapter one. When your intuition talks to you, believe it. The thing we call intuition, it's your soul, and you can trust it. Anonymous. Take a breath, my darling. You're doing great, said the QVC host as she grabbed my shaking arm, held it steady and like a pro, covered from me on live national television. As I tried hard to appear confident and fought not to tremble, I wondered if the viewers from across the country saw more than just my bright red face and shaking arms. I wondered if they could feel my fear. I was down to under $1,000 in my combined company and personal bank account, which would only cover me for a few more weeks of expenses before I did go all out of business. What if going with my gut instead of what the experts told me to do in this life altering moment where everything was on the line turned out to be wrong? Before I stood there shaking in my heels on national television, before I ever had the idea to create a makeup skin company, I was wondering. I was working as a television news anchor and a reporter. I loved my job so much that I thought for sure it was what I did do for my entire career. My parents worked a lot when I was growing up. When I was home alone, the daytime talk shows, along with MTV, which I wasn't allowed to watch, keep me company. Opera, in particularly, was a huge influence. The dream on my heart for as long as I could remember had always been to host my own daytime talk show where I could do what I loved, interview other people, and share their stories to the world. You know that famous saying, life is what happens to you while you're making other plans. Well, in my late 20s, while working as a morning news anchor, I started developing a skin condition on my face called rosacea. It's hereditary and usually appears in the form of red patches, sometimes bumpy or sand like in texture, sometimes up to the size of an apple. Strangers at the grocery store would ask me if I had a sunburn or if was feeling well, all because my cheeks would get super red some of the days. I became self conscious. I learned from dermatologists that there wasn't a proven cure, just some ways to try to limit the severity of the flare ups. Hoping to cover it up, I started spending my time and money trying to every makeup foundation or concealer I could find or get my hands on. Drugstore brands, and even though they were the way up of my price range, I did save up to buy and try any department store brand I could get my hands on. Two, the primetime anchors had professional makeup artists, so I asked for help and tried any solutions or products they had heard from. Nothing worked. Either a producer wouldn't give me enough coverage, or if it did, I would look like I was wearing a mask over the makeup. There were the moments when I was anchoring the news live on the TV and I did hear my producer in my earpiece saying, there's something on your face. Can you wipe it off? But I knew there wasn't anything I could wipe off. It was my bright red rosacea starting to appear through the cracks when there was a makeup breaking up on my skin under the hot HD lights of the television. It was easily embarrassing. And it also started to make me feel insecure. That voice of self doubt in my head would tell me things that I would never say to another human being. Things like, you're not pretty, or this is going to hurt your career, or viewers might change the channel when they see you, or the ratings will go down and you'll get fired. Ah, that inner critic we all have. Don't you love her? I needed to figure out this makeup thing. I realized that it's easy to find makeup that looks good when you really don't have anything to cover. But if you have the ultra sensitive skin or even uneven skin pigmentation and texture, then it's hard to find anything that works. I had what opera calls an aha moment when it occurred to me that if I was having this struggle, there might be so many other people out there who, like me, couldn't find makeup that worked for them. Or maybe they did find just a flat out given up on it. It wasn't just about finding the right foundation. I also realized none of the countless beauty companies out there spoke to a woman like me with the real skin challenges, and none used images of women who looked like me to sell their products. They all seemed to use the only over photoshopped, filtered, and altered images of women there were virtually unattainable. Not only were those advertising images of a spiritual woman unrelentably, they weren't even real. When I looked at them, they made me feel like I wasn't beautiful or like I wasn't enough. As I immersed myself in all of this, it struck me that for the most of my life, growing up as a little girl, now as a woman, I did waste so much of time feeling insecure about my body, dieting constantly, focusing on being pretty, and never feeling like I was. The more I realized how much of life I had lost to this, I started to get really, really mad. But I also got inspired to change. The blessing in all of this was that it lit me, a fire in me. My guts told me that the woman was sick of seeing airbrushed images of people who didn't look like them, promoting products that don't work. And that's when the idea of IT cosmetics was born. I had a vision to create makeup that was good for your skin, worked on all ages, skin types, skin tones, and gave you the coverage if you wanted it, but didn't look like a mask. And unlike practically every other beauty brand in existence at that time, I wanted to use women of all ages, all sizes, all skin tones, and all skin issues as models. I truly believe that not only was there a need for this type of product, but that there was an even greater need on behalf of all the women to shift the culture around the images of the beauty industry puts out as aspirational. It's the one thing to have a dream, and it's another thing to do it. Well, so we've reached to page number 6. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to ask you, what is it in life that you've been dreaming about, or some struggles in your life that have kept you from realizing your true potential, from loving you, from saying that you're pretty, you're beautiful, and you're good for who you are? The purpose of reading this book is entirely to discover yourself. This book is just a medium to discover who we are. Think about it. Read it again, the Believe It book, if you like. Or just listen to this recording one more time and tell me what you feel. What are your aspirations and what did you learn from it? Till I speak to you again, I'm waiting to hear it from you. And we will continue this chapter further from page number 6. Believe it. So believe in you and let's carry on our journey. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you next time.